You're on the Cleetus McFarland YouTube channel.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Cleetus McFarland YouTube channel. If you guys remember, maybe 5 or 6 months ago, Cooper and I stood on the starting line at our local track while 2 jet cars raced next to us.
Oh my God! Holy crap! Oh Jesus!
Since that very day, I mean, we were like, this is the craziest thing we've ever seen. You guys know we're all about crazy stuff. So today we're at Larsen Motorsports and they're gonna give us a full tour of their entire jet facility. They do all sorts of jet development with crazy jet cars. Hopefully by the end of the day today, we leave with our own jet casing so we can start mocking up a car that is gonna be completely street legal, hopefully LS powered in the front, jet powered in the back. We haven't decided what car we're gonna use yet. Hey, quick note here, guys. You're more than welcome to list ideas below for the car we should use for our jet car, but keep in mind that whatever we use has to have a long wheelbase. The back of the jet has to sit at the rear axles, so something like the side-by-side that we have at the shop will not work with the jet. We need something long with some wheelbase, so when we're going freaking maybe 200 miles an hour with this thing, it's not super sketchy. So whether it's a truck or a freaking Camaro, I'm sure you guys will come up with something. To be able to show up to a random event with our own jet car that can still drive down the street. I mean, James, are you ready to work on a jet car?
Be at first, but I'm ready.
We're gonna get a crash course from these guys.
Yeah, we'll get it all figured out.
Guys, I'm excited though. Let's get into the tour.
Yeah, let's walk around. I wanna touch some things.
All right, we got Chris Larsen here, the CEO of Larsen Motorsports, and you're gonna show us around today.
We're going to show you around and show you some of the stuff that we do, and some of it is going to be surprisingly similar to what you do every day.
Yeah, you have a lot of
got a lot of goofy stuff in here, and of course a lot of the stuff we do is with these small jet fighter engines. And so I'm going to show you some kind of neat stuff around Larsen Motorsports today. You never know where this stuff goes, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, we'll do that and have a great time most of all.
Hell yeah, sounds good to us. So is the J85 the one we've been talking to you about?
Yep, the J85 is
this is what we might end up with.
Common engine, yep, and they're fantastic. They're kind of like LS Chevys, you know. There's a bunch of them around, and they make a ton of power. The power to weight ratio is fantastic.
There you go.
In jet racing, we primarily use, it's not the only engines that are used, but primarily we use the Pratt & Whitney J60 and the General Electric J85. And so the J60 is a little bit, a lot of the fastest jet cars have had J60s. Yeah. They're a little bit more powerful. Well, they flow, it's kind of like a big block Chevy versus a small block Chevy. The J60 flows more air, but you can make those small blocks run right with them if you put
so this is the LS of the jet world.
That's kind of the LS of the jet world.
Oh yeah,
it's incredibly hard.
Yeah, I like that.
So the J85, great engine. General Electric is going to support these engines for a long time yet, and so that makes parts availability a little bit easier. And that's pretty important because it's just like anything mechanical, they do break, you know?
Oh, I'm sure. So just off the bat, how much does this weigh? How much would it weigh, like fully dressed and ready to rip?
In the airplane that it comes out of, which is, this engine is a popular engine. It's used in the F5 Freedom Fighter, the T-38 Talons, A-37 light attack planes. There's a series of even civilian business jets that use them.
Wow.
The engine's a pretty basic engine. This is what we call an axial flow turbojet. This is where the engine inlet is. The air comes in the front of the engine. It's about a 16-inch diameter hole, and there's really 3 primary sections to any jet engine: the compressor section, the combustion section, and the turbine section. And the compressor section does exactly what the name implies. The air comes in here. You see the blades are really big at the front. They progressively get smaller. As the blades get smaller and more blades, the air is actually getting compressed. And it's compressed to about 70 or 80 psi. Wow. Doesn't sound like a big number when you consider that nothing ever closes this thing off. It's still an internal combustion engine, but it's not like a reciprocating engine like your LS, where the air-fuel rate mixture is compressed during the compression stroke, and then once the ignition takes place, you know, it's fired. There's never anything that's a constant flow of air. So when you think about that 70 or 80 psi, it's a massive compression, considering there's a 16-inch hole on both open hole on both ends of this thing.
True that.
About 70 to 80 psi right here as you get past the compressor compressor, there's a series, I don't know if you can see those down in here, series of stationary, what we call stators, that redirect that air into the combustion section. Now we've cut a lot of this away so that you can see down inside the engine. We're going to take you through some of the engine assembly rooms for these, and you're going to see these individual components. But as we work our way into the combustion section, you see this red area here. Inside here, that's the combustion liner. That's where fire happens and fire takes place in the engine. There's an engine igniter, a spark plug, that goes in this hole. There's another one on the opposite side, just for redundancy. But once this is lit, you don't need that spark plug to keep firing. Fuel sprays in. This is a series of fuel lines. There's a nozzle removed right here, so you can kind of look down in here. And this nozzle's actually even cut apart, and you can see the way that little poppet in there operates. But effectively, the air comes through here. That 70 to 80 psi splits in two different directions. It either goes down inside, underneath, in the core of the engine, underneath the combustor, or the outer liner here. It comes along the outer edge. You see this combustion liner, it's shaped kind of like a cheese grater. And that cheese grater, actually, an engineer, somebody way smarter than me, figured out how to put enough air from the compressor into the combustion liner in the right spots so that the fire that's lit inside here never actually touches the combustion liner itself. That flame is perfectly shaped, and with all the airflow established, through the engine, that combustion then continues to go backwards into the first stage turbine nozzle. I don't know if you can look around there, but those are stationary. Those blades are stationary, and what those are there for is to perfectly direct that high pressure gas path into the first stage turbine wheel. Now, the turbine wheel, these two turbine wheels are connected. You can also see they're connected on a common shaft up here to the compressor. And the reason those turbine wheels are there is pretty simple. It's to extract energy from that high pressure gas path. It extracts energy from that gas path, and those turbine wheels are what drives the compressor. It also drives, there's a PTO shaft, or a tower shaft sometimes we call it, that goes down to an accessory drive gearbox underneath the engine. That accessory drive gearbox is where things like the starter, the oil pump, the fuel pumps, the afterburner pump, a number of accessories are connected. All those mechanical parts that have to turn and tell the engine, give these special signals to tell the rest of the engine how much fuel to flow and so on. Coming back behind here, there's another stationary nozzle. We have the top half of that removed, so you can see down in here. But there's a stationary nozzle, the second stage turbine nozzle. That one doesn't turn as well. And that second stage nozzle, again, redirects the air off the first stage turbine wheel into the second stage turbine wheel. That's the last chance the engine has to extract some of that energy. And then after that, it's exactly what you saw at Bradenton Motorsports Park during the Citrus Nationals last year. You're standing right back there, and all of that high pressure gas path is coming out of that engine. Now, we add one more part to the engine. That, in essence, is the General Electric J85. It is like an LS engine. It's small. It's 34 inches long, about 16 inches in diameter, and in the airplane, it weighs about 390 to 400 pounds, depending on the configuration. Well, for a race engine, you already know this, we put everything on a diet, right? And so with the race engine, we actually strip some of the systems off the engine that are not necessary in the race car. The engine anti-ice system, some of the systems that the airplane needs when it's flying. Take all that stuff off. Race weight on a General Electric J85 is about 360 pounds. Here's the cool part. That engine, just the General Electric J85 with no afterburner yet, is going to make about 3,000 pounds of thrust. Nearly 10 to 1 power to weight ratio. That's unbelievable. Think about that. You're going to see cars around here, and we're going to actually run the Miller Welding Jet Dragster for you here today. That Miller Welding Jet Dragster and a lot of the other cars here at Larsen Motorsports, they only weigh about 1,200 or 1,300 pounds. So just on the engine, the car is going to have almost a little over a 2 to 1 power to weight ratio. That's before we light that afterburner. We're going to tell you more about that in the back here when we fabricate the afterburners. But the afterburner is going to add another probably 60% additional power. So lots of
power adder.
Lots of fun stuff. Yeah, it's like hitting it with a super boost of nitrous, I guess. Anyway, so lots of cool stuff. That you're
we're so excited.
We're ready to.
This is nuts. All right, let's do it.
Afterburner. It's all about the afterburner.
It's gonna be like a giant shot of nitrous. Is that what this is? Is it a dyno?
Yeah. Effectively, This is a jet engine dyno. And we take the engine, of course the air goes in the front.
Yep.
It's kind of a unique engine inlet screen. That's actually a factory General Electric test cell screen that we got our hands on, so it's really made to work perfectly. Engine comes in the front. Here's the front of that General Electric J85. Remember, it's only 34
this is a
inches long.
J85.
This is a J85, just like the one we just saw that was cut open, the cutaway. Pretty basic engine. Hey, there's a throttle right here connected to the transmission cable. Pretty easy to do there. The throttle's right here. Engine fuel control, that's the fuel management system. It's like the carburetor or fuel injection system on your car.
Okay.
Oil dipstick here, oil tank is right here. Oil pump is bolted right to it. Here's that accessory drive gearbox with all the accessories
I gotcha.
we were talking about.
Gonna need that.
As you come back, you remember the fuel injectors, right? There's the fuel lines on each one of the fuel injectors or fuel nozzles, we call them. This is that combustion section. Inside here is that cheese grater that was red in that cutaway engine.
Okay, cool.
Turbine section is right here, and then of course that was the entire General Electric J85 that we just talked about.
It's so small.
It is so small. It'll fit almost anywhere. You could put it in probably put it in a Model T or something. You know, I don't know. If we do, you got to drive it. But and then of course here, what you didn't see before, here's that afterburner. An afterburner is really nothing more than just a big giant combustion chamber. In our case, they're responsible for adding about 60% additional power. Afterburner on a turbojet engine is a kind of a unique shape. The air comes off the back of the engine. This is where those turbine wheels are, right there. Yep. We run it straight for just a second, and then we diverge that duct. Remember 5th grade science class, you know how they talked about an hourglass and how air flows, Bernoulli's principle, so on. Pretty simple stuff really here. We diverge that gas path. Off the back of the engine, the air is running about 1,600 miles an hour. So, so anybody gives you any lip, you put them there, back right behind the jet car that day, right? But so we diverge that gas path. Slows that gas path down. You see a couple fasteners here. Inside here is an additional ring that adds additional fuel. We're going to show you that on another cutaway that afterburner is kind of opened up on in just a minute. The straight section of the afterburner, that's the combustion section. That's the combustion chamber. When you go around the back, you'll see that it is just a big...
We gotta have an afterburner. This one's been ran for a while.
This has been run forever.
That's where the oval shape came from?
Yeah, keep the shape.
Oh, wow.
If you look up inside here, you see that round ring. That's the fuel manifold. That's where that additional fuel is injected. Wow. And then there's a hexagon shape piece up in there. That's a piece called a flame holder that we actually put in there that helps support combustion. Other than that, it's wide open. Well, it helps shape the flame and it helps support the combustion.
Oh, it holds the flame up in there.
Yeah, it helps. Yeah, so we can actually control the shape and how much combustion support we have with that flame holder, even by reestablishing the depth of it up inside the nozzle. Back here, you get to the back of the straight section, this converging section here. Yeah. We converge that. It's almost like taking a water hose and putting your thumb over the end of the water hose to increase the velocity, and so that increases the velocity. At the back of the afterburner, combined airflows, the gas path is moving about 1,800 miles an hour, so it's really, it's getting her done.
And what's this material right here?
This material is stainless steel. Some people build afterburners out of Inconel. We use stainless steel here at Larsen Motorsports. 321 stainless, 316L stainless.
Does this glow like hot red?
Yeah, it glows cherry red hot. So one of the fun things that we're doing here at Larsen Motorsports is, you know, people would think we have this enormous carbon footprint of running all these jet engines and so on, but one of the things that we're trying to do is create a biofuel racing series, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later today. But one of the people that's working here doing graduate student work is Dave Rochelle. Now Dave's background is in nuclear energy. He's smarter than I am, and he's put he put this whole test cell together along with some other students, and he's going to show you how we're actually creating jet fuel out of a number of different biofuels.
The core of the project is if we can start making fuel for our engine out of something that we can grow, basically. That could be algae or vegetable oils. If
something
we can make
renewable.
It out of something that we can grow, and something that extracts the carbon in the fuel out of the environment, then you can close up a portion of the carbon cycle. Now, we really like to go fast around here. We don't want to suffer any kind of performance problems for meeting that goal. And so that's the big thing we're working on, is we're wanting to see how our engines perform on that stuff. to support all that, we built this guy right here. This is
this thing is gnarly.
This is a mobile, self-contained jet engine test platform. We can tow this anywhere. We can strap it down and pull all the cables and everything out and fire up a jet engine right there on the spot. And we can go to about 5,000 pounds of thrust with it. And so that's what this thing was. And this thing was built, by the way, it was entirely designed, engineered, and built by Florida Institute of Technology students.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, it's a huge project for us.
Sweet.
There's that Pratt & Whitney J60.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of like the big block version.
That's a big one right there.
Flows a bunch more air.
Yeah.
A little bit physically bigger, as you can see, than the J85. But
this is with is that an afterburner? Or
no, that's just part of the combustion section of the engine. So it is just a different configuration.
That's way bigger than the J85.
The ultimate question is the extra airflow worth the extra weight? And it is. It's that small block, big block question, right?
Exactly.
And so, but it just like the small block and big block, it's awful hard to compete with cubic inches.
Yeah.
Hard to do, you know.
No replacement for displacement.
Yep, absolutely. There is no replacement for displacement. You know, we've had good days at the racetrack. We've had bad days at the racetrack. Yeah. This is actually a car that Elaine crashed on Labor Day weekend in 2011 up in Columbus, Ohio. So, she got it. She got a bunch of injuries, subdural hematoma. She got a bunch of body parts messed up that day. This was also the day, though, that we really took a different look at how we build the race cars. Before this, and this is a good car, don't get me wrong, it's a super good car, but before this we would put a driver in a race car and make sure that they would go into this existing race car. After this, we built a race car around a driver. We're going to show you a little bit more about that later, but human factors, human-centered design, and we work with Florida Institute of Technology. That's one of the things here on Florida Space Coast that they're famous for. And so it's the integration of that driver, and is it a guy or a girl? Of course, we know there's physical differences between men and women, but there's also even psychological differences. So we build the cars completely different depending on who that driver is going to be. You're going to see a lot of that here in just a minute.
All right. Oh, man. James, you want the work? You want the tree, James?
Let's see.
We're already free-stage.
You're free stage, push the button. I don't know if it's a pro tree or sportsman tree, but when you see the tree move, let go of that button. Let's see what you got.
Oh! Done deal.
You got him.
All I needed. You want to go again? I'll give it
Both pretty good.
Yeah.
Come on. I saw all three lights. I knew it was Pro Tree. And guys, I'll put the information below, so if you want to check this place out, you can come by.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on by. You know, and look at this guy. He's ready. He's ready.
How do you feel? Are you driving?
There's some things blocking your view, but
Oh, I'm used to that. I think he sits in the middle because the jets go on both sides. How's it feel? There you go. Alrighty, how's it going? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Very nice. I hear you do some driving around here. How's it going? Nice to meet you.
So you got the highest time jet car driver, Larsen Motorsports, Elaine.
Yeah.
She's driven jet cars for about 17 years, and the rookie, rookie Cat Redner, never drove anything besides a V6 powered street car Ford Mustang before she got into a jet car. So
wow.
And she's, how fast have you been so far?
276.
Oh my gosh.
Not bad, not bad for
That's 100 miles an hour faster than like my fastest pass ever, so you got me by a little bit.
They're good race car drivers. And,
wow.
Anyway, so you guys are here talking about jet cars and some of the differences that they see here, obvious differences.
Yeah, we're having fun already.
Yep,
It's crazy.
Absolutely. Kat's been pretty good. She's only messed up one time. She learned her lesson, and she has now beat my behind at least a couple times. Our first race out, she kicked my butt.
Yeah.
Which was very sad. And very humbling for me. But then I figured I taught her how to kick my butt. So
Yeah.
She kicked my butt. Yeah.
Okay, so she's taking over a little bit.
We do battle. It's nerve-wracking to put this googly-eyed girl behind the seat of something that produces that much power.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks at me and she goes, "Trust me, Elaine, I've got it." And she has so far. So
Tell me about licensing in a jet car and what it was like the first time you got to light that afterburner.
The first time I was terrified because I've never driven anything that fast.
Yeah.
But then when I lit it the second time, I was like, dang, this is cool. want to do it again. So the more you do it, the more fun you have.
Oh, absolutely. That's what we're hoping to do.
It is unusual for a student at Florida Tech to drive one of our cars. Kat's a student at Florida Tech, and she's doing a lot of the social media activity around here. If you look at our website, she's probably the one that is keeping that up to date every day. So tell them about Florida Tech. And
Right now I'm studying multi-platform journalism, but I'm going on for a master's in global strategic communications.
Very cool.
I'm not sure if I know what that means.
She's smart, okay?
That's right.
Wow.
So watch it, boys.
That's right. Excellent. Well, thank you very much. We're going to keep on
All
trucking.
right. Thank you, guys.
Catch up with you later, I'm sure.
All right. Cooper, can you carry one of these?
I can figure it out.
He's been working out, right? They're only 360 pounds.
Dang. So some of these are like fully equipped, ready to rip, huh?
Yeah, anything with cardboard. Anything with cardboard has been freshened and it's ready to go into a race car. And then the stuff, you know, we try and keep pretty good track of them. But we have little notes written on them on all these cars, you know, and tells us kind of the status of the engine.
Oh my gosh. Oh, there's big blocks up there.
Yeah, those are the big blocks up there. Those Pratt & Whitney J60s. The General Electric J85 is really where we're headed with most of the engines. Anyway.
Yeah.
And so, good stuff. You know?
The J85 is way smaller.
Can't beat the J85. You really can't. Availability.
Yeah.
They're reasonably priced and
sweet.
You know,
so we just choose one, right?
you just pick one. It's like going to the candy counters.
Yeah, right.
Raspberry or peppermint, or you know, they're all candy. And you
Oh,
just gotta
man.
pick the right one.
This is so cool.
Whatever your flavor is.
Yeah. Jet Pug. Oh, Nitro Pug. Nitro Pug. What's up, dude?
That's pretty good. He grew up with all this stuff.
Yeah, so he's been driving a jet car his whole life.
Yeah, he's been working on jet engines since he was about 3.
Our dog only works on LS's.
We have a small room to build Pratt & Whitney J60s in. There's not a lot that happens in this room anymore. We're getting rid of our last of the Pratt & Whitney series of cars. It literally just sold and it's headed to Europe.
Oh, okay.
And this room will eventually turn into a accessory overhaul shop. We're trying to.
Nice.
The J60s are great engines. They're just really hard to support anymore, especially when you have a fleet of jet cars like.
So you're going J85.
J85 exclusively
Oh,
at
yeah.
this point. So now we walk into the J85 room and we have tons and tons of parts for J85s.
Oh,
And
yeah.
So
Dang.
we're pretty well equipped to
Yeesh.
to put the J85s together.
Oh my
Here's
gosh.
a couple engines we're putting together. Actually, to be honest, they're getting put together to be used in a school. We're going to donate them to the school that
Wow.
we're going to.
That's
So
great.
kind of parts that we probably wouldn't normally use in the jet cars and certainly not
Yeah, in a race car.
But they'll be perfect for the school engines.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you really quick. I noticed the fan blades are all loose.
Yep.
Like they all move. What's
Yep.
the story with that?
Absolutely. So there's so much heat back here. The hub itself is made of Inconel, the disc or the hub, and then the blades are all loose in here. That blade is actually loose. It has to be loose for thermal expansion, and it'll never get out of there. It's actually held in there with a little what we call locking strip. That little locking strip is.
Oh, I can see these fan
There's one
blades.
with one side of it straightened out, but that little thin locking strip holds that blade in. Remember, the centrifugal force is going to hold it out against that disc.
True.
And
High
the
rate
blade
of
has
speed.
Chewed up a little bit.
Yeah, so the blades on these this thing's pretty beat up. Is this a foreign object?
That's all foreign object debris, and the reason that's in there is because we're donating it to a school, so it'll never run again.
Just for research
and,
purposes.
they're just going to look at it and tear it apart and put it back together and so on. So yeah, these are pretty banged up, but here's a pretty decent blade. You see the blades, they're actually held into that disc,
guide.
with a little dovetail there, and it'll never make its way out of there. Interesting fact about these though is, with the engine, this engine's going to turn at nearly 17,000 RPM, and so that's kind of die grinder speed.
Oh my
The dynamic
gosh.
weight on this blade, the base of this blade, with all the centrifugal force, the blade ends up being the equivalent of a mid-sized car. And so there's 75 blades on the front wheel here, and you can see
Just because
that
of
there's just a
centrifugal
ton of them
force,
there, right?
yeah.
A lot of centrifugal force.
This
a
must
lot
be
of
a
energy.
strong disc.
Yeah, it has to be perfect. That disc, it can't have any blemishes, no scratches, no. It has to be there to. Otherwise, it's
Line
a
scratch
bad
or
day.
crack would cause that.
It would
Catastrophic.
take a
Yeah.
chance of structurally failing. This is for example, the 4-stage blade. Those are
Oh,
made
yeah.
of pure titanium, and I honestly don't know how many of those are. I mean, here's the disc.
Guys, there's titanium blades on the front.
Yeah, and this disc is made of titanium right here as well. So
Yeah,
it's
should I feel that?
doesn't weigh very much
Oh,
at
yeah.
all. And
Let me see that.
hard to believe that thing can go with that much velocity and not break off or anything. Right?
Wow. Crazy. Oh, man. This is the fab area.
Yep, lots of metal work back here.
Oh yeah, found the good stuff.
So the chassis.
You guys are building chassis back
chassis,
here.
bodies. Jet cars are built in 2 separate halves. Built some afterburners.
Yeah, I see some afterburners over there.
Brand new afterburners. Chelsea's been with us for how long? Probably 4 years.
4 years.
What's up, Chelsea? This is pretty cool in here. You guys got a lot of good stuff going.
Yeah. Chelsea grew up in a heavy equipment shop. Her father owns a big truck repair shop.
Oh, that's
she
awesome.
Grew up around welders and grinding and.
So here I do kind of a little bit of everything. So it'll range from sweeping the floors on a slow day to building afterburners when we finally get some stuff in.
That's awesome.
We also do things like I maintain the cars. So one of my positions here is a car chief. So what that means is when the cars come back from the race, I inspect them, I go through them, I make sure everything's up to spec, perfect. There's no welds that are cracked.
Yeah.
I fill the CO2 bottles, make sure the seat belts are still safe.
Yeah, there's a lot of welds to check.
Yeah. I come over every inch of the car and make sure it's perfect.
Yeah, it's an important role though.
Yeah.
Holy cow. A lot of welds on this thing.
Tons of welds.
And this is just the beginning right here, so.
Yeah, and we're always busy. We're always doing all kinds of stuff.
J85 here.
J85 again, you know.
Oh yeah. I like the like bell inlet.
Yep, engine inlets.
Velocity
those are
stack.
hand-rolled. Yep,
Deal.
just like a velocity stack.
Yep.
Lots of engineering involved with that too.
Got some afterburners.
This is one of those afterburners Chelsea built. There's that
Damn.
ring to keep it round now.
Good job,
you know?
Chelsea.
There you go. Yeah,
Looks
pretty
good.
right? Not bad for a couple rednecks and a bunch of college kids, right? Here's a couple front halves of the cars. This is about as far as you can get a car.
Yep, pretty much
until you know who
complete
the
body
driver-
and all.
Yep, they'll have it's until you know who the driver is going to be. This is about as far as it can go.
Got the welding cubicles.
Yep, afterburner pieces here, and even
Okay.
this is where a lot of the aluminum gets done. Special
Sweet.
little fuel manifold assemblies.
Wow, awesome.
Even the fuel tanks.
Very, very cool.
But here's your hot rod today.
Yeah,
this is the one we're going to run.
Oh, this is the one we're gonna start up?
This is the Miller Jet Dragster. And
Yeah.
Miller Welding has been a great partner of ours for many, many years.
Oh my gosh.
This car
This thing
ran in a
is-
series of shows starting in around 2000, I think it was 2007 or 8. And this car would still run today. We keep it certified. It normally sits in that display, that museum space that we have.
Oh, okay.
But
Got her cracked out today.
we should pull it out and we'll see if this whole thing will still start. and I hope it will. Hope it doesn't embarrass me. J85 again.
Okay.
Yeah, J85.
Sweet. So you said 1,200 pounds?
About 12 or 1,300 pounds. That's with a driver. It carries
my
200 pounds of
gosh.
fuel. So the fuel in the car is, don't you wish your Corvette rolled that easy, right?
Yeah, I do.
But carries about 25 gallons of fuel. And
That's what it takes for a pass.
That's what it takes for a pass.
You're starting it inside?
No, we're gonna pull it out. But
Say,
this
Jesus.
is the car I'm gonna get to fire over today. So I'm gonna try and fit in it beforehand.
All right.
The hard part would be when you have the helmet on.
Trying to think how to get my butt in and get my legs
So what, the lane, you have to like bend your knee.
out. She goes like sideways.
You have to like bend your knee a little.
How tall is the lane? My height.
So you got some height.
Oh yeah, I see.
Oh, you're gonna get your legs stuck on one side of the steering shaft.
He'll get around this.
This is impressive.
Good Lord. You know which car he would fit great? The fifth gen car. No,
yeah, the fifth gen.
Fifth gen car.
Oh yeah, you'll get a helmet on, no problem.
Can you get?
Yeah, I feel really safe.
I don't think I'll have any much better of a chance. Maybe. This is elegant.
Guys, you're gonna have to come out of this car. Wow.
Being rebirthed.
Yeah, we're gonna have to tow you home.
Wow. That solves that.
Careful of the windshield.
That was the only way to get a jet. You get stuck in the car, just take the whole
That's true.
That's a natural jet birth.
That's all natural jet birth right there. Well, looks like we'll be watching from the outside today. Unless Cooper, you want to climb in there and do it. James, there's no way you're fitting.
Oh no, I got a couple inches. You got a couple inches on.
Pretty tight. I'll give it a try.
Try it out.
If he can fit, you can give it a try. I mean, there's no.
Yeah, you gotta try. Yeah, see, that was the predicament I ran into.
You can't like slide yourself back enough.
Yeah, I had to do like a little shimmy twist.
It's definitely not great looking to watch somebody do this.
There you go. Dang. Can you reach the pedals?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
In there with a helmet.
Damn.
Tight.
Yeah, you got an inch for a helmet. Cooper's getting the rundown.
You're gonna only pop it like twice. What happens is this has a flamethrower.
when
This
it means
is a
business.
huge fire. So for some, okay, now let it fire. Perfect, and keep holding down on it. There you go. And you will hear the fire. You will not feel the fire, but you okay. And so you're gonna be able to see the rest. And it's going to be way more exciting for everyone on the outside. It's just, you're just going to be nervous on the inside that you're not going to mess anything up. You're not going to mess anything up, are you?
No.
You got this.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
And that's all you have to do.
Cooper, you look fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I can barely hear you.
It's a little faster than the 11-second V. But
Yeah.
It's a big step in your racing career right here. Go from 11.5
Yeah.
V to a
Go from
300
11.5s to 690s.
Alright, guys, I'm 11.4.
Oh yeah, he's went 11.4.
11.48.
Jeez, he's getting up in pretty good. It's tighten up that.
But that helps your
That's not all the way.
doesn't it?
I am so glad Cooper is doing this. James, you can push the whole thing by yourself. We got the police here to keep people out of our business. How you feeling?
Pretty nervous. I have I can't move at all. Pretty tight in here.
All right, this is everything you've trained for.
Yeah, this is my job. I do.
All in one.
Fire, pop, pop.
Smoke.
Smoke, fire, pop, pop.
And then you gotta hold it.
And then I hold it. And hold the brake.
All right. They're getting ready to fire you up, so.
Well, I need gloves.
Yeah, they're getting you gloves. You got this, Coop. All right. Oh my God. Oh my God.
The asphalt.
He melted the asphalt. Look at that. Oh my God, dude. I don't know if we can handle this.
Imagine that in a drive-through.
Oh God. Dude. Oh my God. That was
crazy.
So crazy. The heat that comes off of that thing is insane.
I bet.
Dude, you melted the asphalt.
I was up here and I thought I lost an eyebrow.
Don't tell the cops it was me.
Quick, run. The cops are here, man. You gotta
get out quick.
You gotta get out of here.
That was crazy.
Oh, guys. We might be in a little too deep on this one. Look at the asphalt.
Is there a such thing though, being in too deep?
Dude, I think we need one of these.
We definitely do.
I think we need one of these. Alan, what do you think?
I think we can do it.
Oh, you want to roast a turkey for lunch? No problem. Let me fire up the jet car.
Take 5 minutes. Oh, yeah.
Okay, let me see your hands now. Are they shaking just a little? Yes, look at them.
Oh, yeah, she got you. Nice job, dude. Was it a little toasty in there?
Not really. Oh yeah, it smirked a little bit back there. Wow.
Look at this, man. Look at that.
Wow, yeah. She's a little cooked.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was a proud moment for me. So awesome, man. Thank you, Elaine.
Pushing the
Oh,
brakes so hard.
amazing.
Because like it's like you don't want that thing to push.
Oh yeah,
through.
were you pushing them pretty hard?
Yeah.
When you were going boop, 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 couldn't you feel the power behind the car when you were
I didn't know
doing
when you
that?
wanted me to hit the igniter.
It's okay.
So-
it auto lit, so you were good.
Oh, all right.
So was that just idle too?
Yeah.
So That's
It was
nothing.
like just idle sitting there. That wasn't even beginning to have fun.
Don't you guys
Oh
go
my
like wide open
God.
and bump it, and that's when it's like
Boom.
and
That's
it's
what
a
we
train.
did. Yep.
That was just idle.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh
Thank
my
you so
gosh.
much for letting
Coop
me do that.
out here. Oh yeah. Dang.
So
What a beast.
keep dirt out of here, you know, like these holes as much as you can. Maybe tie a
Keep that all clean.
plastic bag around.
Alrighty. Hey, well, thank you for such a great tour today.
Happy to
so
do it.
much
Hopefully,
fun.
you get a
Get
fun
this-
project going
Yeah.
here.
Hopefully we get everything set up for this and make it happen.
Yeah, we'll help you any way we can. And
We're so pumped. I can't believe we're taking this plug home.
It's gonna be crazy.
So guys, nothing in there, but this is gonna give us a basis to work off of for.
You need something like this because as you build a car, you may have to lift it in and out 10 times. You know?
Yep.
So everything's hollowed out except for the fuel control and everything here.
This is the bottom.
This is the bottom. Yeah, this fitting is 6 o'clock. So if you figure that out, and I'll try and let me get you some.
Sweet.
Look at what we got for engine.
Well, this might be the craziest thing we've ever done.
Maybe.
I mean,
It's
it's a jet. He said it's an LS.
he did say LS a couple times.
What should we name it?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey the Jet? Alright, Jeff. I guess it's settled. Jeffrey it is.
When you put me on the spot like that.
We gotta write Jeffrey on the side of it. Might melt off.
That's fine. I have more Sharpies.
Alright guys, so what a day. A crazy tour here at Larsen Motorsports. This is not a for sure thing, but we are gonna go home with a plug, which is the casing of a jet, but with no jet inside. We're gonna start working on seeing what it'll fit in. This is crazy. Like I'm still in disbelief, but man, Larsen Motorsports was amazing today. Gave us a wonderful tour. Cooper got to fire up that car. It was so fun. Look at all these amazing jets behind me, but we'll see what happens. Anything can happen, you guys know that. So for now, thanks for watching. Do it for Dale. We will see you later.